Hey everyone, it's Michael and I teach you how to learn Spanish in 12 months or less. Today's video, I'm going to explain why you haven't learned Spanish yet. One of the reasons why you might have not learned Spanish yet. And it is because you have not invested enough and put enough skin in the game. So a big reason why people deliver and actually take action is because there's a pain point or there's a reason big enough to push them to do it. Now, there's some people that are just at this point, like they've trained themselves, they have discipline, they have action. But for a lot of us, like if you're trying to learn Spanish and you're only doing Duolingo 15 minutes a day, do you really think you're that invested in your progress? Like if everyone could just do 15 minutes of Duolingo, do you think anyone would ever need to pay for a Spanish program or take lessons? Like everyone would be fluent. So the quality of stuff is really gonna go up with how much you pay and how much time you put in. Not always, there's some shitty programs out there that cost a lot of money and take up a lot of time, but for the most part. It's just like how I tell people, I can get you fluent in 12 months or less, but I need you to invest like some time. Like I say 3 hours a week. For some people, that's barely anything. It's like, what? Only 3 hours? I've been spending 6 hours a day. That's amazing. But for some, it's like, oh man, that's quite a bit of time. It's like, well, what have you been doing? Well, like 15 minutes a day, every other day. It's like, well, how's that going for you? Well, I'm not fluent yet. Well, then, you got to invest some more time. So you got to be able to like put some skin in the game. What I've done in the past actually is also I think it's called tape or stick or something, something sticky. It's a website where you can it's for accountability, where you can set a goal, and if you don't hit that goal, you put money on the line, and that money can go to a charity you don't like, can go to a friend you don't like, or go to a friend that you do like and say you can spend it on whatever you want, something that's painful, and you put enough money that it stings a little bit. So that's a way of doing it. But another way of like making sure that you're invested is by saying like, hey, I want to become fluent in Spanish, and I've chosen that. I want that to be my identity. I want to become fluent in Spanish. But to do that, and this is an idea from Atomic Habits by James Clear. It is like, since I've chosen to have that identity, I have to vote for myself to be that person. And I can only vote for myself through my actions. Every time 3 hours a week, every time I learn for that hour, that's me taking another vote to the person I want to become. So if you see yourself as a Spanish learner and you're like, hey, what would a Spanish learner do in this situation? I'm going to do it. That's 3 hours a week. It's going to be easy for you. If you're like, hey, like I don't really know Spanish and I don't know if I want to learn, I just kind of want to dabble in it, and now I tell you to like learn 3 hours a week, it's literally going to be an uphill battle. So you need to find what your reason is, why you want to do it, and realize that only through action you're going to learn. And every time you do an action, like speak to someone in Spanish, like that's you taking another vote towards the person you want to become, you becoming fluent, because you need volume. You need to speak to people. So, I talk to a lot of people about learning Spanish, obviously, because I teach Spanish. And the first thing I tell them is, in 12 months, by the time you hit those 12 months, like you're not nervous about speaking Spanish anymore. In the first 6 months, you're not nervous. First 3, you should not be nervous. In the first month, yes. Like you're just you're just starting, but like by month 3, you should not be nervous. Like there could still be some, but you're going. You've had 3 conversations a week now for 3 months, for 12 weeks. Like that's a lot. So just putting in that volume and investing in yourself in time and money will yield results. There's another video that I just came out with, which is you either do it or you don't. I don't remember what the title is, but that's basically the plot of it, which is you got to decide. Are you going to learn or are you going to not? And if you're going to learn, you better invest in it. You better invest in yourself, because I don't remember what the principle is, but it's this human principle where the more we invest in something, the less we want to quit. And so that could be very good and very bad. It's like if you're trying to start a business and it's just failing and failing and failing, and you should let it go. And you're like, no, I've already put so much time into it. Like I should, but I don't want to. I want to keep going because of my time invested. Happens with relationships. Yeah, we've been dating for a while. I know we should break up, but we've already been together for years. Like, should probably like stay with them. It's like, no, like give it up. But the pro is that in terms of like Spanish learning, if you've already given it 6 months, like that is less time. The more time you go, the less likely you're gonna quit. Someone that's only been doing it for 2 weeks versus someone that's been doing it for 9 months, they only have 3 months to go. Who do you think is more likely to quit? Like in the beginning stages, even at gyms, like in the beginning stages, everyone quits. Like even I remember I hated in January, the new year, new me, like the gym would just get so crowded that you just couldn't even get a machine. You're like, oh my gosh, like I've been here now for months and now you guys come and you just make it hard for me to work out. But they quit after like 2 weeks or a month and they never come back. And it was just so amazing to see that like it's so quick. And it doesn't mean that I don't think people shouldn't join the gym. It just means that like when you join, like make a conscious effort. Don't go for 2 weeks. Like actually try to make it. And I know that, one of the best ways to stick to something is to, just the next day, like when you're flossing your teeth, like just floss 1 tooth and the next day 2 and then 3. I get it. But you want to stick to something, like really decide, hey, I'm going to do this at least for a month, at least for 2, at least for 3. So hopefully this helps and I will see you in the next video. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, and yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Go ahead and go over to my website, strangelanguageacquisition.com, and I'll see you in the next one.